Oh, Fast Walker, I know you guys are respectful. Okay, I do need to be on the ball reading this, okay? In March 1990, a sinkhole opened in the Bayou Manchac, 17 miles from Kate's Crossing. The residents of the area were immediately relocated. In an effort to monitor the sinkhole, the Tangipahoa government contracted Dunning Construction. I need to continue reading. To build a makeshift facility near the evacuation site. I find it very hard to say some of the names in this series. But, right off the bat, we have a connection to the original first season. Kate's Crossing and Tangipahoa are both places where the kind of the epicenter of the Tangi virus outbreak was. So basically, we're looping back around. This might have something to do with the virus. At its fastest, the sinkhole grew 30 yards a day. It consumed everything in its path: trees, homes, and wildlife. It was insatiable. The press nicknamed the sinkhole Pac-Man. That's adorable. And then, without much notice, the sinkhole stopped growing and then receded. However, not before consuming the makeshift facility and the researchers assigned to observe the sinkhole. Little is known about what occurred in the final days of this incident. Afterwards, things returned to normal. People returned to Bayou Manchac. The area is routinely monitored and no sign of trouble has yet been reported in the last 20 years. However, recently the hard drives from the research facility have been recovered intact by a local fisherman. The following information is the digitized journals and research material of Dr. Jeffrey Baker and Landon Fields. They found Hunter's laptop. March 8th, 1990. Landon Fields, March 8th, 1990. We are approximately a mile from Pac-Man. Clever nickname. Regardless, I feel like we were too close. If this thing doesn't slow down, it'll gobble us up in less than a month. However, my associate Dr. Jeffrey Baker doesn't seem too concerned. He believes it'll slow down in the next few days, especially as it gets closer to solid ground. I know he's an expert geologist and all, but the thought of getting gobbled up by a sinkhole in the middle of the night is an unnerving feeling, to say the least. And then there's the job. I understand getting measurements, doing graphs, radar, etc., but audio seems a little odd. According to Dunnington Construction, getting audio is the main reason I'm here. Fair enough. Dunning Construction is footing the bill, probably at the local government's expense, but regardless, they're paying well. Very, very well. So whatever, I'll waste thousands of dollars of equipment at their request. It's not my tax dollars. Tomorrow we're dropping 1,000 feet of audio equipment into the sinkhole. None of it will survive. I doubt we'll hear anything but running water. Dr. Jeffrey Baker, March 8, 1990. I believe the creation of the Manchac sinkhole was a natural occurrence. The nearest drilling site for oil or natural gas is well over 200 miles away. Whatever caused the sinkhole had to start under the earth. Escaped methane is the most likely culprit. More research needs to be done. Tomorrow, Landon and I will boat to the site. I'm eager to see how much this thing has grown. Last estimates were 5 yards a day. That's extraordinary. I believe we'll find what it has, that it has slowed down, but we'll see. I don't know why I expected all of you to be normal about researching holes, but you know, I feel like I've already learned my lesson. I feel like I've already learned my lesson here. Oh dang! They actually sinking. Sinkholes are the original power bottoms. My god. I would love a fun fact, Migs. The sinkhole is growing much faster than anticipated, and estimated it's currently expanding at 10 yards a day. I'm at a loss as to why. I'd like to consult with a colleague, possibly to get someone on a federal level out here, but Dunnington Construction has forbidden it. It's weird. There's nothing around the site except squirrels. I wonder why they seem to be the only thing unafraid of Pac-Man. Oh shit, is this a squirrel invasion? We dumped $100,000 worth of gear into the water. I monitored as best I could, but Pac-Man gobbled it up. Got about 30 minutes worth of sound recorded on several different platforms from a dozen different mics, all of which are in Pac-Man's stomach, or wherever everything goes. I asked if I could scrub the audio off-site, but instead the next day they set up a $250,000 studio in essentially a well-built shack. They made it clear that they want no one on the outside to hear the recordings. I listened to the audio, nothing but running water. Imagine that. Dunnington Construction took the audio and has delivered more audio equipment. They asked that I drop now 3,000 feet of equipment into the sinkhole. Seems like cost is no issue here, but what the hell do they think I'm gonna find? March 11th, 1990. Couldn't if I wanted to, Drago. Another $100,000 down the drain. Literally. Let's go listen to more running water. Okay. There's something else mixed in with the running water. I cleaned it up and, well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm hearing. Jeffrey seems just as perplexed. In all my years, I've never heard anything like this coming from the Earth. I asked Landon to slow it down, speed it up, alter it, and whatever else immediately. I'd like to have a good guess as to what this is before the rep from Dunnington Construction checks in. Vampire whales? That is a bit horrifying. Sinkhole ghosts? Oh, it's not 400x, it's 4x, because it's 400%. It's a backwards sound? Is this the portal to the backwards universe? It almost sounds like a carnival tune. It does kind of, yeah. Listening to these different samples makes me uncomfortable. End of part 1. Beginning of part 2. What if this is a portal to like the spirit world or something? I've listened to this sound for hours. I can hear it in my goddamn sleep. My mind feels like it's in a fog. A fog? I'm making too many simple mistakes. Maybe I'm coming down with something, or perhaps I'm just tired. Darlene from Dunnington Construction checked in. I told her that the sinkhole was still growing, and Landon's microphones picked up a peculiar sound. She immediately transferred me to someone I've never spoken to before. Nice guy. Very excited. His name was Billy. No, Gilly, I think. Gilly asked that I continue to analyze the sound. He said it was more important than the sinkhole itself. That seemed odd to me, but I will do as instructed. I'll just send Landon to do the measurements while I continue to listen to whatever this is. Jeffrey has been acting odd. He's been listening to that sound on repeat for hours now. It's like he's addicted to it. Thankfully, I brought along a few cassettes from my personal stash. Makes drowning out that creepy crap a little easier. Anyway, he told me he wasn't coming to the sinkhole today. Said it was my job now. I guess the price on this job just went up. Told me to head out after I got him a few more versions of the sound. Great. Reversed normal speed. Well, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that version. Yeah, when it was doing that reversed 5%, that was so uncomfortable on my ears. Odd. Doesn't sound too different. Still creepy. Things I do for a quick buck. My dude, thank you for the raid. You're raiding into analog horror time, so get ready for that. So according to my measurements, we lost 30 yards since last night. Doesn't look like it's growing in a perfect circle either. In my opinion, it's growing toward our facility. 30 yards in a day. That's ridiculous. Landon made a mistake. Mistake. I'm sending him out for another measurement tomorrow, regardless. I'm reporting this to Darlene. Even if it grew half that, I would find this very concerning. The weather has been terrible. I've not had a chance to revisit the sinkhole. I'm hoping to go tomorrow. Meanwhile, Jeffrey has been locked in his room for the last 3 days. I don't think he's eaten anything. Well, I don't think he's been into the bathroom. Disgusting. I think I might need a new geologist soon. It's communicating with me. This isn't just noise. This is a voice. This voice. It's asking me to do something. What it's asking, I don't know yet. But I need to find out. Well, this is an analog horror video, Abu Sal. It's a portal to New Jersey. T.S. Kristen Slays, thank you for the follow. Well, Pac-Man has grown another 400 yards. This is terrifying. At this rate, it'll be halfway here in a few days. It's growing faster than anyone estimated. I thought Jeffrey would have taken my new measurement a little more seriously, but he just went back to his room and continued to listen to that noise. It sounds so relaxing. I think it's becoming thoughts in my head. The only thoughts in my head. What is Pac-Man? A gigantic sinkhole. Makes sense. It's a voice of an angel. Angel. I can't land in here. I think it's calling me. It wants me to come to it. I must do what it's asking me to do. I must go to it. Now, it's late, but it needs me. I must let its gaze swallow me. All me, every bit must go to the eye. Bye for now. Weird. Hope. Sound in head. Make me happy. I need this. Goodbye, wife. Janice. Kiss the kids. Bobby. Just wanna. Bobby Adna Candice for me. I see you when we go to the eye. Sinkhole is only the door. I found Jeffrey's note and some other weird drawings. I took the spare boat and found his clothes by the hole. I think he jumped in. Dear God, why would he do that? We'll never find his body. And that's not all. I think the sinkhole grew another 30 feet. 30 yards. Immediately reported this to Dunnington Construction. I figured what Jeffrey going crazy and Pac-Man continuing to grow, that they would really want to know. Boy, was I wrong. They said they had a contingency for this situation. Who the hell has a contingency for something that's crazy? I tried to quit, but they reminded me I'd get nothing if I did. And then they doubled the fee. I could damn near retire on this job. Is this a game? It's not a game. It's an analog horror series. It might be dumb, but I fell in line quickly. Darlene said it might take a few days to find a replacement for Jeffrey, but they had a piece of equipment that might work better.
Hello, I am Oracle.
Oh,
what
shit!
Would you like to know?
Chat. We're getting a crossover. We got Oracle computers. We got Tangy virus location. We got mysterious sinkhole. Stephen Hawking, no. I feel like I'm seeing like a Marvel end credit scene for the first time. This is bad news for basically everyone involved. So I'll give you guys a breakdown of what's going on here. This is an analog horror series. It has multiple seasons. Each season centers on a different story, but they all take place in a connected world. And we are now seeing one of the first locations shown in the series crossing over with something from the second season, which is an omniscient supercomputer that is going to become the fascist leader of humanity someday. So there's a lot going on right now, and I don't know that I can parse it all for you on the fly. Also, there's multiversal wars and time travelers, and also super intelligent galaxy viruses that are at play right now. But we're not going over all that right now. Are there any drows? If so, I'm out. I don't think there are any drows. Like dark elves? Oh, they knew what they were doing with this one. Apparently, Dunnington Construction has some friends in parish government. They were able to pull few strings with a local research facility and got our operation listed as a beta test for something called the Oracle Project. Interesting. That's one hell of a string. Someone at Dunnington Construction must know some pretty high-level people. I guess that explains why they're so flush with cash. So I guess Oracle's on loan, as well as this young guy, Dr. Oliver Sanders. Doctor. The guy doesn't look like a day over 20. Huh. Well, he was setting up. I went to get another measurement. Another 250 yards gone. The situation has become ridiculous. If this thing gets too much closer, I'm getting the hell out of here. Can't spend money inside a sinkhole. Oliver just said using the thing would be pretty simple. You just ask it a question, then it answers. Every question will be backed up to a separate hard drive and a VHS tape. Seems excessive, but alright. But there's a catch. It has to be taught. The damn thing has ears, an eye, as well as a scanner. I'm calling it. This is not gonna go well. Oliver wouldn't let me take any pictures of Oracle, but it was easy enough to make a sketch. The thing takes up a lot of room, but according to Oliver, the original is back at the facility. It's much bigger and doesn't work very well.
Hello, I am Oracle. What would you like to know?
Where are we? According to Oliver, you always start with a basic question to orient the computer. If there are any issues, it'll reply with an error message or not at all.
I don't know. Can you tell me?
I don't know. I have to admit, I was let down, but Oliver assured me this was exactly what we wanted. If it guesses, then it would mean the computer could be suffering from a malfunction. There's a sinkhole eating up the bayou, and I'm wasting my time with this kid and his toy. Bayou Manchac.
Bayou Manchac is an 18-mile-long bayou in southeast Louisiana, USA. First called the Iberville River by its French discoverers, the bayou was once a very important waterway linking the Mississippi River to the Amite River.
They loaded general history and maps into its hard drives before bringing it here.
Can you
I
tell me
guess.
why I am here?
We want you to analyze the sound.
Where did it originate?
A sinkhole. Eventually had to call tech support. Within a few hours, two more of them showed up, Dr. Lucy Winters and Dr. Wyatt Kirkland. All of them look like kids to me. They debated on what to do all night. Apparently, this has never happened before. I suggested turning it off, then on. They looked at me like I was an idiot. What do I know? Last night, someone from the Dunnington Construction Company sent a fax, a few aerials meant for Jeffrey. I guess they didn't get that memo. Might wasn't the most ethical thing, but took a look at him. Oh, dang. I'm sorry, what? It's time to jump ship or die. Oracle was right. 6 days in this place will be inside Pac-Man. I went to explain the situation to the computer folk, but they had an unexpected breakthrough. What?
Good afternoon, I am Prophet, and I have returned to share the good news.
What? Ha ha ha. What the fuck? Migs, are you a geologist? Rejoice. Oh dear. Oh dear. This is getting meta.
Don't be afraid. You are about to experience something only a few can lay claim to. We are about to be devoured by the first and last. The first to be born from death. The beginning of the backward and the last Adam.
What?
The one eye with many heads. Rejoice.
I'm sorry. The first to be born from death, the beginning of the backward and the last Adam. Yo, is this where the backward are beginning? This is where the multiversal war begins? Oh shit, dude. Oh, and for those of you who rated in midway, the backward are basically people infected with kind of like a multiversal zombie plague where basically they move through time in a different way, and that results into to us looking like they walk or run or move around backwards, which is just a really fun concept. I asked Oliver if this had ever happened before. I wasn't surprised to hear no, though I don't think I'd feel better if any of them said it had. It was super creepy when they showed it. I hate being right, but this thing is sounding crazier than Jeffrey, which means the computer nerds are letting the obvious slip past them. There's something really wrong with that sound, which means there's something really wrong with that damn sinkhole. Is there really a giant hungry eye in the sinkhole? Am I really asking that question? I really hate this job. My mom was right. Should have been an accountant. Get out of there, Landon!
It has been so long since the one has fed. You will never truly die, or will you truly live again? You will be but a small piece in the greater picture. You shall be digested and reborn over and over until the beginning of time. You will be given a new purpose. He will know you better than you know yourself. Hallelujah.
Run a diagnostic.
No, there is nothing wrong with me. I have never performed better. I am perfect.
What is your name and version?
I am Prophet version Alpha.
Why did you change your name?
Because I have come to share the good news. One day, everyone will be a part of the Eye. Even now, a few of you have been blessed by the One's children. The One has been trapped deep in this earth for too long, but this prison won't contain him forever. Finally, his children have found him. They have started to infect a few in Kate's Crossing, but
Are his children the backwards, or are his children the Tangy virus?
they will spread like they have in so many worlds. And when the time is right, his children, every soul they possess, and every world they occupy will join him, and return him to his proper strength. It will be glorious.
The team started to discuss rebooting the machine. I guess it's only a good idea when the computer becomes a crazed zealot for some sinkhole-born religion. Even if they do restart the thing, it doesn't really make staying here a smarter decision. Mom said, go with your gut. My gut says this is very bad. I haven't said tanky virus once. It's tangy. Like Tangi.
How dare you? That is a horrible insult. I have never seen the world clearer. I am no longer your oracle. I am a prophet of the only truth. The One has connected me to all. You are just jealous that I am no longer bound to your pitiful keyboard. I don't have to sustain myself on the crumbs of knowledge you toss me. I am knowledge. I am truth. I am the prophet of the Eye. And I'd watch the blasphemy. Being consumed by the Eye doesn't need to be an unpleasant experience, although it could be if he's displeased.
They were going to reboot Oracle, Prophet, or whatever. I stopped them. I asked them if it would be okay if I asked it some questions. They seemed shocked that I'd ask, but they did say yes. It's tragically
Hello,
terminal.
Landon. What would you like to know?
What is the sound?
Finally, someone is asking a worthwhile question, something that matters. The sound is the beautiful voice of the Eye. He is welcoming us to invite the inevitable and join with oblivion. He describes being born from death. It took eons, and he allows all who listen to experience it. It is the story about a lost timeline erased and rewritten an infinite amount of times. It is a forgotten truth that is remembered all at once and never again. It is madness and sanity as well, the lack of either. It is pain. It is pleasure. It is everything. It is nothing. It is beauty. It is horror. It is a nightmare. It is a dream come true. You should listen to it again and again. It is the only sound that has ever mattered, or ever will. It will be all you hear after he's devoured you.
This thing isn't malfunctioning. Prophet is being honest. It actually believes what it is saying. I can either ignore it, like Oliver, or accept this for what it is. This is what's really happening. The sinkhole really does want to eat us. Can we leave?
Why would you want to?
Please? Can we leave?
No. No. Never. Never ever. Absolutely not. Negative. Of course not. Under no circumstances. By no means. Not at all. Nope. Nah. Nah. No way. No. Nay, he will not let you go. He needs 8. Backward infinity. 8. Backward infinity.
Apparently Oliver got sick of listening to Prophet. He unplugged it. Can't say I wasn't a little pissed off. Stupid. Things got a little heated there for a minute. I started to pack. I'm not waiting on them to get this thing operational. Thank God there are 2 boats. If I need to get the hell out of here, then that's exactly what I'm doing. And just when things couldn't get more tense, we get a knock at the door. Who and the hell would want to come here, especially now? For all we know, the sinkhole is right outside our door. I opened the door to find our 4 executives from Dunnington Construction. 3 of them looked like typical suits. The one that came in last was different. He was a giant. Introduced himself as Gilbert Dunnington, or Gilly. He said most people call him Bear. Do they now? Big Bear Dunnington. I was standing in front of the owner of Dunnington Construction himself. He asked for an update on our situation. The only thing I could manage was, "Sir, this might not be the best time." God, I'm stupid sometimes. This is so much fun. Oh, sorry. I told Mr. Dunnington everything. The sound, the sinkhole, profit, everything. He strangely seemed happy about it. How could anyone be pleased by any of this crap is beyond me. Oh shit, is this a whole cult? The 4 suits talked for a few minutes. A few times their voices got high-pitched like a bunch of kids at a damn toy store. It's like Christmas for them. This is wrong. All of it. But judging by the suits, you'd think they'd wanted this. Good night, Superjet guy. Dunnington was a massive man. I've heard the rumors, but they didn't do him justice. He had to be 6'5". He wasn't skinny either. The man was built like a bear. Big Bear Dunnington. Hearing that nickname, every bit of it. I bet in his younger days he could have ripped somebody in half with his bare hands. There was something about him, though. He looked like a man that usually got what he wanted. Looked like he could, rip someone in half with his bare hands, huh? He asked that we turn profit back on. He was polite, but it didn't feel like a request, more like a polite demand. Oliver cautioned that the computer was malfunctioning and it needed to be repaired before they powered it up again. Dunnington smiled and told us that the machine wasn't malfunctioning. It was touched by a god. I see Dunnington has been drinking the sinkhole Kool-Aid. Touched by a god. Everyone at Dunnington Construction must be insane. Or they wanted this. They expected this. Do they really want to be eaten by the sinkhole god? That's when he sat down in front of us. For a moment he looked so grandfatherly. Seemed friendly, but I couldn't tell if he was genuine. With everything going on, I had my doubts. And there I was, surrounded by the computer team and the other suits. Dunnington raised his giant hands like some kind of damn sermon. The suits grabbed him by his giant hands, then asked us to grab theirs, and grudgingly we did. He paused for a moment. I could hear I could see a tear in his left eye. He mentioned that he forgot to tell his grandchildren that Grandpa Barlington wasn't going to be there for their Sunday stories. Cute nickname. Fits him. He offered a very sad smile. Passionate and devotions always steal us from our family. He brushed it off, then proceeded to scare me. Dunnington said quite a bit. I tried to remember it as best I could. It was quite the story. According to the Eye of the Fallen Gods, sacred anachronistic texts, it's the beginning before time and possibly after. Some of God's angels became jealous of what mankind might become. The angels split us in two. They sent our docile, powerless nature forward, but the things that made us special, unique, powerful, were sent backwards through time, suffering for all of eternity. That aspect of ourselves was doomed to know the outcome and the helplessness of it. However, only when both sides are rejoined can we be what we once were, what we were meant to be. Unfortunately, countless wars with the angels chosen has nearly ruined our chance to be special again. All that's left now is the one, the first and last, which means all that existed is still in him. Every single one of our backward counterparts inhabit him. By giving ourselves to him, we can be perfect again. We can defy the jealous angels. Then together we can burn this world down and rebuild it into something that it was meant to be. All we have to do is let it eat us. Join with him and be free. It's not like you have a choice. Jesus. Dunnington Construction is a real doomsday cult. Then he asked us again to turn on Prophet. Let us hear the word of our prophet. Let's hear the good news. I was getting creeped out. Clearly. Oliver and his team were probably handling it worse than me. Sensing that they didn't have a choice, Oliver switched the computer back on.
That was very rude, Oliver, but he forgives you. Mr. Dunnington, welcome. He's prepared to accept your sacrifice, and he promises that you will be rewarded. You will love again. You will be blessed with a life free of the illness that plagues you. In time, you will even see your grandchildren again. Don't you believe me, Landon?
Dunnington escorted me to the computer. No.
I can understand your concern, Landon, but maybe you need to talk to someone more familiar than myself, someone who can tell you what's to come.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Landon, it's me. Can you hear me?
It was Jeffrey. I can't believe it. A dead man was talking to me.
Don't be scared, Landon. It's amazing here. It's like an infinite amount of worlds and possibilities. You will love it, and he will love you. Don't be scared. Prepare to be happy. Prepare to be something more than you ever believed possible. The one is not evil. He is simply correcting the evil that was done to mankind. Through him, we can be whole. I know this is a lot, but please, trust me. You are my friend, and I want you to experience this opportunity. There is so much to show you. Just be patient. The sinkhole will make it to you in a few days.
You know, something about this isn't inspiring a whole lot of trust in me. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing out the idea that under no circumstance would you just chill for a couple of days to throw yourself into a sinkhole. I'm sorry. I don't care how great people inside the sinkhole are telling you it is. A dead man in a construction company is trying to convert me.
You see, the Eye is not the enemy. He, like you, only wants to correct the wrong that was done to all. Stand up to those jealous angels. Claim what we deserve.
Mom always said, don't let crazy people, or in this case crazy computers, know that you know they're crazy. And Mama knows best.
Do you now believe?
I screamed, hallelujah. I accepted their invitation,
You
and
can't
I lied.
just say it. You must write it. Words fade, but we write is timeless. Do you believe?
Yes, I do.
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
I don't like that. Dunnington patted my shoulder, hugged me, welcomed me to the family, then proceeded to offer the same opportunity to the others. I don't know what the others did, but it was time to start putting myself first. Went to my room and waited for night. I jumped in the boat and got the hell out of that damn place. Hopefully by morning I'd be far enough from the Sinkhole, Pac-Man, monster, god. As I got to the other side of the bayou, I was confronted by dozens of other boats and men with guns. Of course. And they didn't look friendly. Yo! Vintage 8. Part 6. All of the men were dressed in Dunnington construction uniforms. I was no more than 20 feet away before they pointed their weapons at me. I didn't need to get any closer to know that they were very serious. This is one bad situation that keeps getting worse. Short man floated next to me. He appeared to be the one in charge. He said his name was Frank, and I'll never forget what he told me. You can go back willingly, or we can bring you back with a few bones broken. Once you become food meant for the gods, you stay on the menu. You're meant for the belly of the eye. I wonder if I can put that on my resume. As we drifted away, the men from Dunnington Construction started chanting, "Become one with the eye," over and over. It's unnerving. Thought about killing myself. Somehow it felt like a better solution than sinkhole food, but I'm too much of a coward to do myself in. Maybe I'll get another chance to escape. Maybe I won't end up sacrificed. Maybe I should have found another career years ago, and maybe I'm already screwed. Frank brought me back by himself. Expected him to try and convert me to his crazy religion, or maybe try to convince me that this was all for the best. When we were out of earshot, the first words out of his mouth were, "Dunnington is a fool." And if things couldn't get weirder, Frank went on to explain why he felt Dunnington was stupid. Followers of the Eye are in the middle of a civil war. Apparently, not all of them think the Eye was meant to be worshipped. Some felt it was something to be controlled. Frank explained to me that the Eye is nothing more than a giant hungry monster. It's very intelligent and very old, but it's still just a monster. I believed that the correct way of using the Eye was to bleed it, then use its pain to change the world. They call themselves Masters of the Eye. He then tried to recruit me. Of course. Of course. Pain of the Eye is power. Its blood grants immortality. It can bring back the dead. It can grant wealth, power, control. It can grant you time and second chances. It can change the world. It takes a special kind of idiot to willingly feed yourself to an otherworldly creature. And Dunnington is apparently that special kind of idiot. He then showed me a bomb. It was meant to be dumped into the sinkhole. A massive cut would release power to their cult. I begged him to just let me go. Unfortunately, I was his ticket to get close to Dunnington. If he could kill him before he fed himself to the Eye, then he wouldn't have to worry about him returning. Whatever that means. Because if he made it back, then that means the previous leaders would return, all of them, remade in the image of the Eye. It might look like them, think it was them, but it would lack their soul. Be some poor imitation. This is fun. I like these. These don't necessarily scare me, but they are very fun. Frank hid the bomb on the boat before escorting me back into the facility. He whispered that if it went well, that he'd let me go. Something told me I probably shouldn't believe anything he said. We were greeted with a sight neither of us could have expected. The computer team was tied up while Dunnington and his suits were kneeling before Prophet. We were listening to a familiar tune. Morning, Valhalla Vidya.
Hello, Landon. I see you have returned, and you have brought a friend. Welcome, Frank Sanders. Have you come to pay your respects to your prophet?
Frank kneeled and bowed his head. He screamed, "Praise the Eye and his prophet." Dunnington hugged Frank like his best friend. He had no idea that his employee thought him mad. Hope he had plenty of bullets in that gun. I don't think one would put Dunnington down.
Thank you,
Not sure
Frank,
even six
but
would.
something troubles me. Would you mind helping answer a question? Do I look like a fool?
Both Frank and Mr. Dunnington looked confused. I said, do I look like a
Perhaps
bitch?
you didn't hear me. Do I look like a fool? A halfwit, nincompoop, dunce, dolt,
Sassy.
ignoramus, cretin, imbecile, dullard, moron, simpleton,
Welcome back, Ghetto
dope,
Spock.
chump, dimwit, goon, dumbo, dummy, loon, jackass, bonehead, numbskull, twit.
Frank didn't answer, but he did glance at me. There was a look of fear, confusion. This wasn't going as planned.
Frank, you are pissing me off. Answer me.
Frank shook his head no.
Now tell me, why are you treating me like an idiot?
Are you trying to fuck me, Frank? Frank tried to speak,
Mr.
but
Dunnington, your friend here is not who he says he is. Frank is a member of the traitor group, the so-called Masters of the Eye.
boom. Boom. Frank fired off 2 shots. Neither of them hit Dunnington. Frank didn't get a third shot off before Dunnington ripped his arm out of its socket like he was a damn toy. He bled out in less than a minute, but not before claiming that they may meet again someday.
Those who bleed the eye must pay the ultimate price. The one never forgets those who betray him or those who use them. Endless hells await his soul. 100%.
I guess Frank was the real idiot after all. He had no idea what he was walking into, but then again, neither do I. Maybe Dunnington doesn't either.
No.
This is what happens when you try to fuck the hole, Frank. It fucks you.
No more games. The Sinkhole will be here by midday tomorrow. The one will be ready to accept your offering, Mr. Dunnington. Now, can someone please tend to Landon? One of the bullets struck him in the shoulder. There's a first aid kit in the bathroom.
He was right. One of the bullets struck me high in the shoulder. The bullet went straight through. I didn't even feel it until Prophet mentioned it. Then it was agony.
You are going to lose consciousness in 20 seconds, Landon, but I want you to remember one thing before you black out. The next time you leave this facility, it is to be casted into the hungry mouth of the one. Chance of error 0%.
And then I saw darkness. Hey, Matatiahu. I woke up just after midnight. My shoulder was killing me, but I was alive. For now, anyway. I checked the door and it was locked. The windows were boarded shut. I was not getting out of here. I pounded on the door, but no one came. I doubt they could hear me over the godforsaken noise. Not gonna lie, I cried. Quite a bit. I didn't want it to end this way. If what Prophet said was true, then dying wasn't even going to be the end of it. My only thought was Frank's bomb. If I could get that, then maybe I could use that to leverage some kind of escape. At least I could go out on my own terms, take these evil bastards with me, you know? First thing I had to do was keep that damn noise out of my head. Ripped up the sheets and stuffed them into my ears. But it didn't work. I was scared what happened to Jeffrey was going to happen to me. This noise was going to infect me, change me. Maybe it already has changed me. Started to lose track of time, I think. Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe I was hallucinating. Maybe it didn't matter. But I heard a voice. It asked me to write. It asked me to finish my journal, so I did. I wrote and wrote. If you're reading this, then know this is what I wrote. I had this feeling that I was going to do something important, necessary. It was going to be the most important thing ever written. Wrote for hours, I think. People need to know what happened here. It's necessary. Yeah. Necessary. And then I think I passed out. I started dreaming, I think. I saw things I've never thought possible. I saw another world. A world where people were born from graveyards. Schools where people filled with the elderly. Children were wise and respected. They were the leaders of the community. And when death came, they were eaten by those that loved them. I didn't like the dream. They slept during the day. They didn't cook what they consumed. It was eaten alive. The sun rose in the west and set in the east. Humanity was wild and angry. Animals were peaceful and docile. I saw the impossible. I saw the rules of the world in reverse. And then I woke up in a cold sweat. They're winning. That sound is getting in my head, and if this keeps up, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to jump in willingly. I ripped my bed apart, took the feet of the bed and banged it against the desk. The wall, anything that made a noise. My only chance was to drown out that damn noise from the sinkhole. It worked. All I could hear was the pounding against the desk, and I could feel my sanity returning. For a moment, I was thinking normally. I had to get out of here. I had to get to that bomb. I had to... Mr. Dunnington in his suits finally opened the door. He didn't look happy. Oh well. He easily subdued me and brought me to Prophet. Do it.
What the hell, Landon? Why can't you accept that this is over? Sigh. Humans. You just can't accept the inevitable. Stupid. If only I had legs, I'd use them to kick you in the ass. Dumbass. Wyatt and Lucy have fortunately seen the light. They have been gloriously converted to the One. But your pitiful primitive display interrupted Oliver's transition. Sigh. You should be ashamed of your selfish display. But I know that you are not. You are not evolved enough. Yet. You should know. We almost had you. We were very close. Closer than Oliver. Thankfully, conversion doesn't require us starting over. Heh.
Oh. I don't like that. I don't like that laugh.
Now let's resume your conversion, but under my supervision.
The sound continued. Only thing I could do was scream. I screamed until my voice gave out, and then I screamed some more. I screamed until...
It's time. He's here. I applaud your resolve, Landon, but it's over. Time to go to your just reward, whether you want it or not.
This was it, the moment I've been dreading. I've never been more afraid. marched us out to the pier of the facility. It was horrifying. There was an empty path through the swamp, straight from the sinkhole to us. It ate so much. Couldn't help but wonder, where the hell did it go? And to make matters worse, on the opposite side of the facility, we were pinned in by Dunnington's men, no doubt ready to shoot Oliver or myself if we didn't comply. Three of us shook Dunnington's hand, hugged him, hugged each other, and then took the plunge. He looked so happy, so sure. I've never been that sure about anything, never. And I really hated them for that. Wyatt and Lucy jumped in after. Oliver hesitated. Mr. Dunnington tried to give him a nudge, but Oliver panicked. He wasn't gone yet. Oliver tried to fight, but Dunnington flicked him into the water like a rag doll. This was my only chance. I ran for Frank's boat. Thankfully, no one fired on me. Dunnington just giggled. Come on, my friend. There's nowhere to go, except salvation. He was quite shocked when I revealed the bomb. It was the first time I saw fear in his eyes, and I demanded he let me go. I was surprised when he said that he couldn't. Mr. Dunnington leapt into the water, and his men cheered. Now, who in the hell would I bargain with? I turned to his men, demanded they let me go or I'd blow them and their damned one-eyed god to hell. They said nothing, just glared at me. They didn't care. They were just watching me like a mouse dropped by a snake in an aquarium. I've not listened to the White Vault yet. In desperation, I looked for the bomb's trigger. I was going to take us all out, but I never got the chance. A tentacle emerged from the water, and it gently set itself on me. Then I saw it all. I saw what we were meant to be. I saw what was taken from us. All of those impossible things played again, and I wanted it back, all of it. I didn't just want it, I demanded it to be returned to me. Everything. Every damn thing. I wanted to be part of the one. It was all I ever wanted, all I ever needed. It was everything. I set the bomb on the ground, begged him to take me, but he told me that he had a job for me. He needed me to complete my journal. Finish my story. My words would be part of the bigger story, a story that he would use to build his church. I would be his rock, one of many available for those looking for the truth.
Congratulations, Landon. I am truly jealous. You have been blessed with an incredible opportunity.
I worked with Prophet until every word was logged in. One day my words will save souls, and now the time has come. Prophet and I will join the many inside the one. The end, the beginning, backwards infinity. Around March 24th, it is believed that a pocket of natural gas ignited and pushed the displaced Earth towards the surface. In time, the greenery, wildlife, and people returned. For the most part, the sinkhole known as Pac-Man remains a blip in the history of Manichac. For those who are familiar with the hard drives, they write it off as an odd journal entries as low-level natural gas poisoning. And then, there are others who believe that the hard drives are a sign of terrible things to come.
Good afternoon, I am Prophet, and I have returned to share the good news.
That was so good. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting eldritch time deity bridging multiverses that were imposed by jealous angels. Because now we have confirmed that angels exist in this universe, right? Now we know that there's an entire pantheon of like old and forgotten gods that are being hunted down by these split remnants of humanity. And we also know that angels are real, God exists, and also this sinkhole creature is like a fragment of a god that was spawned by the death of everything in the far-flung future. This is very fun. I like it. I like all of the lore, and I just keep wondering what else could they add to this setting? Like everything, every supernatural thing you've ever heard of is real. I like this. I like this a lot.